What's up, everybody? So in this video we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how to properly patch a tire. This tire right here is from a customer that brought it in. The hole was a little bit too big, so on passenger tires, if 1/4 of an inch is the largest hole that you can patch. On commercial truck tires it's 3/8. So this hole was a little bit too big, so it's scrap. So these are the limits here within around this line. In between these two lines, in between there, if there's a hole, it's patchable, and you could put it back into service. Around the shoulder area, that's considered a non-repairable area. So if you got anything around there, tire scraps, not patchable. And then every time you do get a tire that has lost some air, check the inner liner, make sure there's no rings around there where it looks like it has been run flat or has been ran flat without the proper air, just to make sure the tire is still in good condition to be patched. You want to check the inside and the whole outside first on both sides. Okay, because sometimes you can have a ring on one side or damage on one side and no damage on the other. Alright, so a few of the tools we're going to need is our drill with the 1/4 inch carbide cutter. Okay, our vacuum, our buffer, which your cup, the plugs, I'll show you guys right now, a patch, the crayon for sure, vulcanizing cement. This one is inner liner sealer. I'll show you guys what that's for. And let's see, here all some pliers, cutters, your stitcher, a brush to clean off the buffing dust, this to clean off the buffing solution. I'll show you guys right now, and your knife. So I'll show you guys all this in action. A couple things here. Let me show you guys. So right now, since the customer didn't want that tire, we're going to use this patch here. And then I love these patches here because these come with a little steel belt on the inside. And if you're going to be patching using this is how you would put the patch. Okay, this says bead direction, so you got to put the arrows pointing at both beads, not like this. I've seen some people put it like this. That's not how you do it. Okay, let me show the reference of the tire, how it's set up on the tire spreader. That's not how you put it. Okay, you got to put it like this. On these here, these circle patches, really doesn't matter because this doesn't have a steel belt on the inside, but that's how you put the patch, whatever, either way, just not like this, obviously, like this. All right, if it did have arrows, then you would point the arrows in the direction of the beads, this side and this side. Okay, but we're going to be using this one for now because I don't want to use my good ones. Alright, so first things first, mark the inside. Okay, this one's pretty obvious because it's a big hole. From the outside, start drilling this out. A couple passes. Just to clear out that the steel on the inside. Okay, so these are our 1/4 inch tire plugs. We're going to be using one of these, and then with our vulcanizing cement. Okay, so we got some vulcanizing cement, and we're going to put the cement all over the plug here. Okay, make sure this thing's still wet.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to put it through the hole here. Oop. Try not to touch this part of the patch. And then with your pliers, just pull it through. Right there is good. Okay, rinse. Okay, just clean off the excess real quick. Get your knife. And then just cut. Okay. Okay, next thing is get your patch. Kind of center it more or less right here. Okay, I feel the plug there, so then you kind of outline. On some tires, it's not that easy to put the crayon, to mark it. So you're gonna have to do your best. Depends on the marker too, I guess, the crayon. But as you can see on this one, it takes a couple of tries. But try to get the best outline you can. Okay, and then you got your buffer. And I'm trying to go a little bit outside of the line, okay? Alright, so just clean up your work area a little bit more. You just got to be careful because on some textures here on the inside, on the inner liner, it's a lot easier to just burn through this material. On this one, it's not too bad. But once you start seeing like the fabrics of the inside of the tire, then you got to back up. You're going too far. But more or less, this is what you want here. Just clean it off with your brush. I'm going to hit up this spot a little bit more, and then I'll be done. Okay? Just remember, guys, this is a scrap tire. I'm not going to put it back in service, and you wouldn't be seeing like this little piece of steel here or whatever. I'm just showing you guys on how to patch the tire properly. Okay, so I'm done with the buffing. So as you can see there, I gotta get it pretty centered, but that's where it's gonna be at. Okay. Okay, put your buffing cleaner right here. I'm almost out of this. And then use your scraper. Scrape away all this stuff to leave this area clean. Just put a little bit more. Done with this. Just trying to leave it super clean, okay, for your patch. So you can apply the cement next, and your patch will stick on good. Alright. Now that all the buffing solution is dried off, then you start adding your cement here. Okay, let this dry up. Don't put it on right away. You gotta let it dry up. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more over here. And drying times, do vary. When it's colder, it takes a lot longer for it to dry up, but summertime, so it'll be pretty quick. Okay. All right, so it took roughly like around 45 seconds to a minute. So get your patch that you're going to use, open it up here. You don't want to touch the inside of the patch. Well, try not to touch it. This is why I have the awl too. This is what I like doing here. And this side. And then the most tricky part is kind of centering it. Let's see. There it is though. Check it out. Kind of put it into place. Okay, and then you come in with your stitcher. From the middle, you go out. We'll try to put a lot of pressure on it. Take out all the air bubbles if it has any. And just keep on going over it. Okay. And then take off the top. Okay, we're going to be using the inner liner sealer. And that's going to cover all this buffed area here. Okay, so my brush messed up. So I'm using this for now. It'll work. You just apply it to here. Okay. It applies a nice CO2 between the patch and the over buffed area. You don't need to like put it all over the patch. Just here's fine. Okay. So clean up your work area. Get all this buffing dust out of here. Got a vacuum. Okay, I want to show you guys the tire spreader here. And I made this a long time ago. Just got this thing from Home Depot. Bought this whole tire spreader thing. And then just connected a light that I got from a store. Now we got lighting on this. But I want to show you guys how I have the tire set up on this tire spreader, okay? So I like putting the injury on this side of the tire spreader. Okay, so I can work comfortably. And then more up here, not close to these claws here. I like it more on the upper area. That way, when you put the patch on there, you don't have to relieve stress here on the beads. You can just put it on there and it'll be good to go. All right, so that's how it looks. This is how it's set up on the tire spreader. And yeah, I got the rim holding it. All right, so we'll go ahead and take this off since it's already patched on the inside. Just make sure you see any other holes or nails on the inside. Take care of those. Okay, here's your plug. Get your knife. And then you don't need to cut it directly flush with the tread. Just give it a couple inches is fine. Like a good, maybe a quarter of an inch. And that's good. It's not going to go in and mess up the patch on the inside. It's not going to get damaged at all. This patch is going to last the life of the tire. Not this one, okay? 'Cause this tire is junk already, because that hole is a little bit too big. But yeah, if this was a good tire, this patch would last the life of the tire back in service, and it'll be safe to go. All right, guys. All right, so I got 3 different tires here. Well, pieces of tires from different manufacturers. And I just want to show you guys that each texture here is different, and each one buffs a little bit different. Sometimes you got to put more pressure on it, sometimes you got to put less, and sometimes there's a lot more of these lines here on the inside. Like I think I'm not sure, but I think I don't even want to put a name out there, but there's a couple tires that are on the inside, the inner liner, where there's like way more lines in here, and you got to take these lines off. Your patching surface has to be flat. All right, so let me start with this one. I'll show you guys this one first. Go. All right, so check it out. This one here. So check it out. This is the pressure, the kind of texture you want, so your patch is ready. This here is ready. Okay. If I were to go put more pressure and go down a little bit more, this one's pretty thick here. But like I said, you got to be careful because there's some that are a little thin on the inner liner, and you could burn through and start seeing fabric pretty quick. But this one's pretty thick. Check it out. This is where you start seeing the fabric. This one wasn't too bad, like I said. This one was pretty thick. But let's say you're buffing and you start seeing this fabric, just stop buffing. Once you put the patch on there, you should be good. Okay, but if you start seeing metal or you do this a little bit too much, then the tire is going to probably be trash. So if you got a little bit of this fabric exposed, just throw the patch on there, see if it leaks, and you should be fine. But try not to get to this stage. All right, like I said, this tire is pretty tough to get to this stage. Others, the buffing cone burns through the material pretty quick, so don't put too much pressure on it. All right, I'm gonna do another one. Okay, I'm gonna be over here. All right, you're gonna start buffing this one. This one's a different tire. I think this is a trailer tire. And when you're buffing, try to use two hands and just hold it, be steady. But look, these lines are taking a little bit to go flat. But you just gotta work them slowly. See that there? See how smooth that is? This is ready to be patched here. Okay, just, don't focus just on one part. Get your tool and just work around this area nicely just to get everything flat. These will come off. All right, let's see how fast it burns through this one. You can see this one's pretty thick too, so this one wasn't that bad also. This is a little bit too much, if I had maybe, like, let's say, so you guys can see, like this much, I think that'll be cool to throw a patch on there if you over buffed, but that's a little bit too much. So you just want to be careful when buffing. Take your time and go slowly. Okay, so this is the last piece of tire I'm gonna show you how to buff. These lines are a little bit thicker here, so let's go. what you got to do here is just work it, you know. You can see there, you still see the lines. It's a little bumpy still. Just work it a little bit more. Like here, this, I would have threw a patch on there already. That's pretty good. Okay, let's go down a little bit more. Look at here, I'm starting to see the fabric, the outline of the fabric at least. So you want to be careful there. And that's good there. Boom, throw the patch on there. Clean it up like I showed you earlier, and your patch is going to be sticking good. Okay, so just wanted to show you guys that on how to buff it out properly, and just want to warn you guys also that you can go too far, and on some cheaper tires, I don't remember these brands, but on some cheaper tires, you barely start buffing a little bit, barely start getting the buffing right, and then you start seeing the fabrics. That's when you want to stop. So just be careful when buffing tires. All right, guys? Well, I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.